小爸爸。
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today we are going to be doing the mid-year freakout book tag. I did the same thing last year. I think I did it. I was tagged by somebody. I don't know if these are the same questions that I did last year, but I'm going to go through and discuss this with you. I don't know who the original creator was. I just picked questions that were on Becca's video that I will leave linked down below. So, just getting straight into it. Let's just dive right in. What is your best book that you've read so far in 2022? See, this is really hard. Because I have so many and it's just me out thinking about it. If you base it on Copilot, it'd be Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom, but I don't think I want to count those because they were rereads. So if we're gonna go based on brand new books that I've read this year, we're gonna go onto Copilot and check. I'm gonna have to say, because I've already read it twice and I'm looking to reread it again next month, it's Legends and Lattes. If we're gonna go indie self-pubbed, at the time I read it, at the time I found it, it was self-pubbed. I'm gonna say Legends and Lattes. If you don't know what this is about Viv, who's an ogre who's had a full life of adventuring and questing, and has decided that she wants to open a coffee shop. We meet a succubus called Tandra, and a lovely rat king called Thimble. That is all you need to know. It is now being published by Tor, soon to be out in a really nice hardback. So I will be purchasing it in the hardback versions. I will be purchasing it in the hardback version, but this is a current cover. Second, what has been your favourite sequel of the first half of the year? Again, I'm going to have to go to Copilot because I don't know what sequels I've read this year. I'm going to have to go with, I think it's going to have to be a De Castell one. I think I'm going to have to go with Sebastian De Castell, and it'll be Crownbreaker. I read the last book in the series this year and Jesus Christ, it was the perfect ending to a not so perfect adventure, but perfectly written. Just pure joy. It sparked joy and still sparks joy within me, as well as much regret and sadness, but also joy. So there's that. Is there a new release that you haven't yet read but you're really excited for? Jesus. So many. A new release that... Is this a new release? I think it's a new release. I've literally just read The Roommate, and the next in the series is The Intimacy Experiment. And I don't know when this came out. Is this classed as a new release? It's new to me. 2021. We'll class this as one of them. This is one of them. Definitely 100% excited to read this after reading The Roommate. I'm just looking through my shelves. One that I'm also excited to get to is Book of Night. Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. I read Shadow of the Gods. Woo! Jesus Christ, on a bicycle. It was a ride. A wild adventure, we might say, but yes, the sequel to that I'm really excited to get to. A new release this year. Also, anything that is being released by Wright and Cahill, I will read. This, Wicked Fate, I'm excited to read this. Anything I've pre-ordered, Twin Crowns, I'm excited to read it. So many. I'm just gonna stop there. But you get my drift. I'm excited to read a lot. Oh, Seasonal Fears, sequel to Middle Game. Ooh, yeah. And what is your most anticipated read for the second half of the year? So, one of them will be Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. That is out in August. The other one will be Kingdom of the Feared, which is the final in the trilogy by Kerry Maniscalco. And the other one is gone from the top of my head right now. Defend the Dawn. I read Defy the Night last year, loved it. This is a sequel. Ballad of the Songbirds. Is that what it's called? The Ballad of Never After. The Ballad of Never After. The sequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart. Stephanie Garber, another one. I'm so excited about everything. War in Ruin by Ryan Cahill is out at the end of the year, I think. Question mark. At some point in the second half of this year, fingers crossed. So excited. Much wow. Yes. There. What is your biggest disappointment so far? So let me have a gander at the core pile. Jasmine Throne. I'm lying to you. Something does come to mind. The Jasmine Throne. See, this is pitched as a romantic fantasy romance with a little bit of political intrigue. Sapphic. Part of the Sapphic trifecta. I was like, I'm all about these vibes. And I went in thinking that it was going to be some epic fantasy romance that was just that my heart needed at the time, and it wasn't. It wasn't at all what I expected. It was highly political, minimal fantasy, and at the time that I finished, at the time I DNF'd this, there was very little chemistry between the two main characters, or the two characters that were supposed to have this romance. And yes, it was a sapphic romance, but that does not negate the fact that the lack of chemistry was very much present and obvious, and it just wasn't good. So that is a disappointment for me. Biggest surprise so far. Biggest surprise. I don't know. What surprised me this year? Just the amount of contemporary that I'm really loving. The Roommate, Hook, Line and Sinker, It Happened One Summer, spoiler alert. Generally contemporary. I am totally cheating here, I am sorry, but generally contemporary as a genre I am really getting back into, because I am coming across some really good authors. The Honeymoon Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. I'm just thinking of other things that I've read that are contemporaries, but I'm really getting a vibe and a feel for more contemporaries. If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich, Solitaire by Alice Oseman, Canonically Stars by Alexandra Bellafleur. The whole contemporary genre has been a massive surprise to me, because I thought that, you know, last time I read it, like back in 2017, I was like so done with contemporary, never wanted to pick up another contemporary again, and recently things have just spiraled and I'm now back in contemporary full force, with these are two of the recent contemporary books that I have acquired. What is your favourite new to you or debut author? That is the next one, and my new to you author would be Travis Baldwin, Brian Cahill, D.W. Ross. So many. I genuinely can't pick. Even Tessa Bailey. And now Rosie Dannon. I normally don't pick favourite authors till I've read at least 2 books, but if that's anything to go by, if The Roommate is anything to go by, Rosie Dannon has my heart in a chokehold. No. Yeah, so those people that I will continuously mention throughout the rest of my life. No, I'm joking, it's a bit dramatic, but the people that I constantly mention, those are them. Newest fictional crush. I'm gonna say Josh Darling. Period. Point blank. There we go. Who is your new favourite character? Josh Darling. Clara Wheaton. Those two as people just make my day. A book that made you cry. Every other book that I read on a weekly basis makes me cry. The ones that made me cry the most: Castell, Crownbreaker made me cry. Crooked Kingdom, Six of Crows. That reread of that made me cry. So many books. Cassie Clare is a new to me author for this year, and her books have made me cry. So yeah. Book that made you happy. Legends of Atlantis by Travis Baldwin. You cannot tell me that you read that book and do not feel your heart filled with some kind of love and warmth and comfy cozy vibes after reading that book. You can't finish that book feeling sad. End of. Like, you just can't. It just doesn't happen. What is the most beautiful book that you've bought this year? I don't know. I'm probably gonna say, so far, I'm gonna say this. This isn't a book box book. Is that I would also say The Sunshine Project by Benjamin Dean has rainbow edges. I really like that one. And the second book in the Rainbow Grey series that has a Nim on the side. Those are books that are really pretty, that I've bought that aren't in book boxes. And what books do you want to read by the end of the year? What books don't I want to read by the end of the year? This is one of them that I'm still yet to read. There's this, there's this, there's this, there's this, there's this. These are but a few of the books that I want to read by the end of the year. There's Caught by Tracy Wolff. There's Cherish when it comes out, and Charm when they come out, hopefully by the end of the year. There's the Throne of Glass series that I started and still haven't continued. So many books. I will update you on what I've left to read. Kingdom of the Feared and some of my anticipated releases are things that I know that I'm going to pick up straight away. So as soon as Kingdom of the Feared is in my hand, I'll be reading it. Some from the pre-orders I do read straight away, some I haven't picked up yet. But Beautiful Nightmares by KJ Sutton, I definitely want to finish that by the end of the year. It's not a new release, but it's one that I want to read by the end of the year. And Defend the Dawn. So many. But yeah, that was my very, very crazy, unorganised book tag video for the mid-year freakout tag. But yeah, I will see you all very soon. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video.